So our database is getting built out nicely. And as we keep adding employees to our database, in fact, let's go ahead and add another employee here, Dorothy Doe. And let's say Dorothy was born in a very long time ago, 1944, and Dorothy joined the company again a very long time ago. We can go ahead and say that Dorothy was a civil engineer and hit save. We'll just go ahead and save that salary for Dorothy so that we have some data. Now, over time, the employee database will start getting larger and larger and harder to manage, especially if you have hundreds or even thousands of employees. So Techlify HR has a few features that allow you to categorize and better manage these employees. The fundamental ones are managing your branches and departments. So let's just go back to John's profile, and let's say we wanted to categorize John by branch. We'll see currently we have no branches or departments here to categorize John by. So to fix that, you go to administration, branches. You can go ahead and add your branch. So let's, for our company, we'll say we have a branch in Berbice. We have another in Demerara. And we have another in Essequibo. Along with these 3 branches, let's assume we also have 3 departments. So we have an engineering department. We can add our operations department and our finance department. So if we go back to our employees, I'll go to John once again, and let's say that John is in Demerara. He's within the operations department, and let's say that John is an accountant. So you see we're building out John's profile here. I hit save, and let's also add Jenny. So Jenny is a civil engineer. She also works in Demerara, but she's within the engineering department, and we hit save. So now you'll see you're better able to filter employees. If you wanted to know everybody who is in Demerara, as an example, you'll see it'll now show us only those team members that are in Demerara. And if you wanted to know everybody who's in Demerara that works within engineering, again, you can filter by, you can mix and match filter as you need to. Now another cool feature that we have is, let me go ahead and clear these filters, is the tagging feature. And if you noticed earlier, in John's profile, we added that John is a diabetic, right? But what if you have tens or even hundreds of team members in your company who are diabetics and you wanted to pull these up? There's currently no way to do that. If you just had notes on that, you would need to browse each employee's profile. However, this is what our free type tagging field allows you to do. Here you can create any amount of tags and use them as you see fit, right? So we can say, hey, health issue, diabetic, right? And just like that, we tag John by diabetic. I'll go ahead and save that. And apart from John and apart from health issue, you'll see this health issue show up here. We also know that Jenny plays tennis, right? So we can say sport tennis. So if we're forming a tennis team as a company, we can pull up everybody who plays tennis. And our third employee that we added, Dorothy is also a diabetic. So you don't need to recreate the tag after you've created it once. You can just reuse the tag. Now what this allows us to do with these free type tags is that we can just filter. So if we wanted to know everybody who are diabetics, we can filter by everybody who are diabetics, and Techlify HR allows you to do that. Right, so this is how we would use our tagging feature. Now last but not least, you have statuses. So when an employee leaves the company, you don't want to delete this person's record from the system, because you want this data to remain there for you. So let's say Dorothy is retiring. You go to Dorothy's profile, you go ahead and set her as retired, and you'll set what date she's retiring. Note that you can post date this. So let's say Dorothy is retiring at the end of April. You post date this to the end of April. Once you do that, a couple of things happen. You see her status gets updated. But not only her status, you'll see that Techlify HR also closes the salary at the end of April. So what happens is that Dorothy gets added to April's payroll, but she doesn't get added to future payrolls. And if I go back to employees, the list page, we no longer see Dorothy here because by default, only active employees show up. However, you can filter and say, hey, show me everybody who was resigned, right? Or everybody who was retired. So if you wanted to see all your inactive employees, you can filter by those statuses. And here we are. We see Dorothy. You can browse her profile and you can see all of the old data that was captured within Techlify HR. So nothing gets deleted and everything is referenceable forever in our software.